Welcome everyone on today's Metal3 Community meeting. Today is 6th of November 2024. My name is Adam Rosman and I will be your host. Today I think I see one potentially new participants in the meeting. If you would like to introduce yourself, this is the time, but it's not mandatory.
Yeah, this is Victor Liu. I'm a first time joining here. I've been actually participating in the CNCF lifecycle management working group. And so one area that's being discussed and I'm interested in is this like the bare metal provisioning, should that be part of the lifecycle management discussion there? So I'm here just to get some idea.
Okay, I see. Then welcome, Victor. I hope we will get an answer for your question. I think we can then continue, and please remember that the meeting is recorded. If anyone would like to help the project, then feel free to filter for the help wanted and the good first issue labels. I know Adil this week has done some maintenance related to this. Some issues got help wanted labels. Thank you for that. And that if anyone would start working on any of this, that would greatly help the project. I have to go back here. Then if you think your organization is ready to officially announce that or disclose that you are using Metal3, then feel free to push a pull request to the community repository and edit the adopters.md file in the root of the repository, and that way we could better gauge and understand the adoption level of the Metal3 project. If you think that you are suffering from a CI failure that is not related to your pull request, then don't hesitate to create a issue in the affected repository and link that issue to the Metal3 CI tracker. When you create the issue, it's on the, you can link it on the right hand side under the project section. Other than this, one thing that might be interesting for the community, if we check the incubation proposal, now we have got some feedback from the TOC. And as you can see, after the KubeCon freeze period is over, our due diligence will commence, and I will talk about this in a little bit of detail because we actually need adopters, actually need volunteers who would participate in the adopters interview. But let's talk about that later. And then if you are interested in any other characteristics of the project, any statistics, please, or documentation, please don't hesitate to check these links. I think these answer most of these questions. I think we have not carried over anything from last week, so we can continue with the working group updates. Maybe one a little bit sad, but important announcement that Mohamed has left the project. He won't be here as a full-time participant. We might see him, might not. Time will tell, but I think now the scalability working group has shrinked to Hui and Dimitri. Is there anything, folks, you would like to share related to the scalability working group?
I myself do not have a lot of news. I'm busy with other things, but there is some momentum around Ironic standalone operator, and once it gets the base stuff going, I believe we will start looking into the actual scalability, aka Ironic HA work I want to say before the end of the year, but I'm a bit scared to promise that. So let's say early next year, it may start being a practical reality rather than our speculations finally. And thank everyone who reviewed the configuration change. I think it's a critical step forward.
Thank you very much, Dimitri. I will just write down a note.
And just to be clear, Ironic standalone operator is very happy to accept contributions. So far, it was mostly Tom or myself and a few occasional contributors from Red Hat and another person who unfortunately I don't know. I think we as a community agree that it's more or less the future direction mid-term we want to take with regards to installing Ironic. So any contributions are welcome. You can ping me if you don't understand some parts of the code or want to check with me if you want to change something radically, how I feel about this. Most likely I feel well about this, just things happened the way they happened because it was the first operator I ever wrote. So absolutely don't hesitate to contribute or to reach out to me about contributing. And also I think it's about the time we start testing the non-HA mode. I emphasize the non-HA mode. The HA mode is not ready for testing, but the regular mode, I believe is. So we've got some feedback already, and we're definitely looking for more feedback if you have some time.
Yep.
That was my sales pitch.
Thank you very much. Sounds good. I will just note down all of these things for the record.
So Dimitri, to speed up the development of the standalone operator, maybe make it easier for other folks to join in, could we somehow make like issues, like some chewable bytes for people to implement?
Yes, there are some issues already. I will review the list later and I'll mark it somewhere in my to-do list to review the current list of issues and see what, yeah, but there are definitely a few things that already marked as help wanted. So it's not empty list for sure.
Yeah, but it might be helpful to have more. Like
Definitely.
it's such a big change of like implementation compared to the old one, that it's maybe hard to grasp what is still needing implementation.
Right, I concur. If
Yeah.
anyone who knows Metal3 Defense wants to help, I have a very early, very proof of concept-ish patch to add to basically both Ironic standalone operator on top of Metal3 Defense. I know it may not be the future direction we want to take, but it's going to be really convenient if we can just spawn an environment and the operator is there. So if somebody knows Metal3 Defense and has some time, reach out. I'll show you what I've got so far and what help is needed.
Okay, thank you very much. That's quite a lot of good news and good info. And please don't hesitate to reach out to Dimitri. I think that's all for the scalability working group. If others have no other comments, then the next one is a question to the release team from me, and I think Ricardo has already answered it. It was originally discussed between Tuomo and me that should we have this patch for the dynamic image. I'm also on the opinion that yes, we should. And I think then we are in agreement. I think last time I checked today, these changes were not merged yet, not all of them, but I guess this week they all land and get merged. And then after that, maybe early next week we can start discussing the release. Let me just write it down. And from release team, we have quite a few people What do you think, folks? Adil and I don't know who else is on. Ricardo, you answered. Adil, you are the other one on the release team. I don't know who else. What do you think? Is it okay if we would do it early next week? I don't know, like Monday, Tuesday.
Sorry for my voice. Got a bit of cold. Yeah, that's totally fine. I mean, as soon as everything is merged, just go for that.
Okay, sounds good. So maybe even earlier.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as it's possible, I guess it's fine.
Okay, so the plan is after Ironic, we will do BMO also, or
in this case, I don't think we have to, because we will see if something went sideways, but I don't expect, because the BMO release is already using those image tags. So BMO already expected these things to work properly. But yeah, the image tag will change. That's true, though. Yeah, we have to. Adele, you are right. Yeah,
we have to do the patch release for the BMO.
Yeah.
Also. Yeah, we are planning CAPM3 and IPM releases also for next week, because CAPI did the beta release, so I have to discuss it with the other release team members. Should we do the beta for CAPM3 and IPM also, or should we wait for the RC of CAPI? But yeah, if we do the BMO and these, we might do the IPM and CAPM3 also next week.
Okay.
1.9 beta releases, yeah. 1.9 beta for IPM and CAPM.
Okay, 1.9 for IPM and CAPM3, 1.9 beta. Okay, I just have to write them down separately. So next week, 1.9 beta is coming for CAPM, CAPM3 and IPM. And then by 1.9 beta, you mean 1.9 RC, right? Or
No, just beta. We create beta from the main branch. We will not create any branches.
Okay. And then that week we would then do the Ironic image and BMO patch system. Okay, so next week there will be quite a lot of new releases coming. And it's actually on Ironic side, it's from 26 to 24. So it's better if I write it down. Like 26, 25, 24.1 and 24. These all got the backport. And then we have to check which BMO is using any of these, and that will, and if that's still supported, we need to patch that. So quite a lot of changes or releases related. Okay, I think we have a plan then. We can discuss offline in this week also. And is there any question related to release team managing these patches or anything? No? Okay, then we can continue with the roadmap. Maintenance. Okay, this will be the first week when we do milestone and backlog maintenance. So this is very early. It might not stay this way, like the process, but let's try. It's just announcement from me, and you see already the notes for the things that we will do. Is there any question related to that before we would start doing it? Okay, if not, then we can continue with the discussion topics. So as I mentioned, in the incubation proposal, we got the feedback around the incubation proposal, and we would need contact persons for the adopter interview. And I already started discussing it with the less active adopters, or some of them. Sadly got quite negative feedback. So what we know is that from Ericsson we can get one for sure. From Red Hat, can you folks can any of you who is present be a contact person for this, or can you suggest and send me an email address, or how should we handle it from your side?
Maybe, I'm not sure what Ricardo thinks about it. Maybe we should try to engage our product manager responsible for all the metal stuff in Red Hat. I mean, we can do it, of course. We can talk to you very happily, but it could be a bit more interesting to get a person you don't see very often and who has contact with Red Hat clients who use this stuff. Ricardo, what do you think?
Yeah, and just a comment. It's also like it's I won't conduct these interviews, or it won't be our community. Someone from the TOC will do it, as I understand.
All right.
So I think it makes sense what Dimitri said in terms of involving. I mean, in general, we should probably discuss this internally anyway before acting on that, and having like a project manager involved in that could be the right choice.
I can take an action item of talking to him. He'll be back, I think, next week. Are we in a hurry here, or do we have time?
I don't want to say it without checking, so let's check. I opened it. So how are we looking? I always forget. So it will be after the KubeCon freeze period, which is within 4 weeks of the event. So second week following the event, voting for project. So next week is KubeCon, and then a week after that it's like a recovery period. So on the week of 25th, the latest, we need these names, I would say.
Okay, we'll work on that. So how does this work? Are they gonna certainly interview them, or are they gonna just choose someone at random to interview? Just to set the expectations right.
I don't remember. They shared this document. I can. It says that submit information for each adopter to the adopter interview questionnaire form. I have not seen how does the interview process look like. I can look into it if there's a public document, but the number of adopters also grown. Originally, when we started the process, I've seen two or three or four. Now it's 5 or 7. So it's evolving, I guess, as we go. But honestly, I don't know. I would need to look into it.
Okay, don't worry. I'll talk to him.
Okay, I don't see anyone else from any other organizations who are official adopters. We would need at least 3 more. I will certainly ping Steven from SUSE and then 2 others. Okay, is there any question related to this adopter interview thing?
Just a question. Did you reach out to all of them
Not
who we
yet.
have on the Adapters MD?
No, not yet. I had I had a candidate, and today I was discussing with that person, and yeah, I went down, or went through the whole process, and the feedback was that actually they don't have anyone that we can talk to. So I have removed one person or one organization from the list, but I have to reach out to everyone else.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. If nothing else, then there is one from Ricardo, one topic.
Yeah, so this was discussed already there, not accepted yet. It's it's an issue, and apparently it's more complicated than expected, because I didn't realize, I didn't think about the fact that the security context in this case, the entries for the UID and the GID, they take only numbers, so IDs, and not the actual and not the names. So we cannot use like the group name or the username in this case for Ironic, but we will have to set new IDs for user and group. And I think we should move quickly with that, because otherwise we'll get even more stuck than we are now, because as Dimitri pointed out in the discussion, the Ironic standalone operator also uses the security context, and so it relies on the UID and JID that are defined in the Ironic image. And well, before that goes into production, let's say, we should probably change that. Otherwise, at some point, it's going to be even messier. And I'm saying this because while I found, we should change these no matter what, because we're using UID and JD that are lower than 1,000. So it should definitely be higher than that. And actually for the GID, I saw some discussions about putting that with a number higher than 10,000. So I know that there are some changes that are correlated in terms of of course there's something in the BMO, and then also the Ironic standalone operator. So at some point we're probably going to break CI with the change, because as far as I understand, there's no way to make the change in some in a place and then be able to there's no chain possible. All the changes need to be done at the same time. So my question here is, how do we want to proceed in terms of doing that? We change the ID, we decide on the ID for user and group, we change them everywhere, and we just merge the changes and we go with that, because again, the CI, I guess, will be broken otherwise.
Yeah, I think basically maybe after the next minor release cycle, we just have to do that. But before we do that, we also, or during when we do it, we also need to consider if we have any upgrade scenarios that we break. So
yeah, that's another thing that we need to think about. It is a breaking change, definitely. Because if you have during an upgrade, you will have to upgrade everything at the same time. You cannot. I don't think you can do in a different way.
yeah, and for that reason, I would maybe prefer to have a full cycle of testing instead of merging quite late in the cycle.
Maybe we can wait for early next year. I mean, the next big release should be at the end of November, beginning of December, when the next bug fix branch come out. So we can, yeah, do that in between the releases. That because the next one then should be, I think, end of February, something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, the release cycles aren't even matching. That's of course is really annoying. Again, one more thing that is gonna be solved with the standalone operators, so we should have it sooner than later.
The operator is not going to solve this, so
No, but I mean at least because now we have the iron manifests in BMO, which is like stupid coupling in the first place, and then we have the iron image and then iron itself, and so it would be less coupling at least if we were using iron operator.
remind me, please. Can we or can we not have a privileged init container for a pod that is otherwise not privileged, or where containers are otherwise not privileged? Am I saying nonsense?
I think it's possible. You can set separately for the whole pod or per container. So that should be possible.
I'm just thinking about an init container which is privileged and that re-owns files that we care about to the UID and GID that are provided by the deployment script or in the operator. This way we can temporarily decouple these things. We can keep Ironic image do whatever it does right now. We have this init container that moves over to new UIDs, and then we can update BMO scripts to use some different UIDs to pass to these containers, and then we have the upgrade path. Because people upgrading from old images will get new BMO scripts that will use this container to retag. If they don't get new BMO scripts, they still get use old UIDs. I can write this down as if that all sounds like nonsense, but I think there's some possibility where we can have a temporary solution for upgrades.
Yeah, I mean the security context is defined in two levels. For example, for the ironic. So the one is claiming that you must. Okay, that's yeah. It says run as known root, applying to all containers, and then we have the container specific privileged false. I think we can do it. I think this because init containers is a separate level, so we can have privilege true for that. Yeah, I think it's gonna work.
Yeah, and that would the idea then be that that's a step in between, and eventually we would get rid of it?
Yeah, I hope that we just keep it for a while people are upgrading, and then in the next release cycle we just drop it and switch to new UIDs.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, that's good. I didn't expect that folks would come up with a solution already, but from triaging perspective, let's even make things even simpler. I will accept this. Honestly, I don't know if this should be a bug kind. I will mark it bug. Feel free to remove it because it's kind of a problem. Thanks for the good discussion.
No key,
That's
funny
king bug, I
typo.
think.
It's a king bug.
King bug or king.
King.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I see. I don't know what I'm thinking. If I am typing king, what is going on? Kind. Okay. Good. Is there any other topic we should discuss, or is there any other question, comment related to this one? If not, then I think we can continue with the backlog and milestone maintenance. I have linked for convenience reasons the list of milestones and the page where milestones can be created. And then I see you have a question, Dimitri. Is it too early? No, it's not. We can discuss the standalone operator also, but I will have to edit this one later, and I will show this one. So if someone is not familiar with the milestone map, then here it is, and it should pick up all the milestones we have. I think it's not picking up if there is nothing assigned to a milestone. So I think it won't show empty ones, but we will see. And this one also has like a deadline, would show the deadline and so on. But anyways, so checklist wise, are we missing any milestones? And then the policies for now is that, as I wrote, that there should be a next +1. Tom also wrote it. So let me see if we have +1 for everything. So I added one for IPAM, and then there was the 1.9. So we have the +1. There is CapM3. CapM3 has also 1.9 and 1.10. And then BMO again, .9, .10. And ironic image also 27 and 28. I don't know, there might be different releases, like different release versions. I think the +1 can be renamed if something like a 27.1 would come into play or something like that. But anyways, that we can deal with that later. And then Dimitri, you are saying that we should look into the standalone, which is fine. Milestones, and we don't yet have any milestones. We can create, but what form of versioning would you want? Like something like we.
That's an interesting question. It's actually an interesting question. Ideally, in the future, we probably couple versions of ironic image and thus ironic with versions of ironic standalone operator. So realistically, once we start going to production with this, we're going to have 2800 and stuff like this. How we want to call the first milestone before this is implemented? Can we just call it, we don't have to have numbers here, right? Can we just call it MVP?
I think a common pattern is also to have like next release or something like that. So it's always the next one. But I think this is good also.
I'm also raising a question on the versioning scheme because if we need to release standalone operator, let's say patch release for whatever reason, then the version numbering will not match the Ironic anymore, and it's like we have done now with Ironic image. It's no longer one-to-one with the patch releases, and it can be quite confusing for the consumers. Do we really want to couple them like that?
I see your concern. I don't have an answer to that. I think there has to be some correlation because good operators, as far as I know, what I was taught by operator people, good operators deploy a specific version of software. Let me maybe open a discussion somewhere where we can exchange ideas.
Yeah, I think GitHub discussion is fine. There's the GitHub discussion page like this. But if we go back to the original discussion, so as a first release milestone, is it then MVP? Are we okay with that, or because of like releasability, should we pick up the first version of Ironic image that we will use?
I mean, we can always rename the milestones, but I agree that something like NVB would be nice. It doesn't have to be a number at this point.
Okay.
And then we can maybe later follow up with maybe beta or something like that. And then only when we are releasing then and we have decided what versioning scheme we will use, we will call that final milestone that.
Yeah, it's fine. Dimitri, do you have a due date in mind approximately?
I do not. Well, if we want to speculate a bit and realize that we may not actually meet this date, I'd probably try to finish that by my vacation, which is January, around January 20th. So let's be bold and put January 16th, maybe. Or does anyone have any better ideas? Maybe we should align with some Ironic releases. I don't know.
We can shift this. I wrote it down that part of this maintenance is also that we can shift if needed, because I know there are sometimes dependencies being shifted, so we have to shift our releases also. So I don't think these are like hard deadlines in many scenarios.
So bug fix branch for Ironic after December should be in February, meaning that like mid of January sounds kind of okay. I mean, if we postpone it by 2 weeks just to have the same date of the bug fix branch for Ironic, should be fine, I guess.
I'm fine with aiming for February.
Can I like ask how much effort do you think you need to put into this, and how much effort do you expect to receive from everybody else to meet this February deadline?
Depends on what we want to see in the MVP. If you want to see HA fully working, I definitely won't be able to pull it off alone. If you want just non-HA working, so basically ironic standalone operator is a drop-in replacement for ironic image in the simplest cases, I believe we're not so far away.
I would vote for that one, as we kind of aim for an MVP, if I understand. So I'm fine if that is just replacing, or like as you said, the drop-in replacement for the ironic right now.
Yeah, I agree. So the conclusion is that you alone are basically going to achieve that, and everybody else is just a bonus.
I hope I get some help, but I think it's within my within the possibilities of my current time allocation to drag that along across the finish line if nobody else volunteers. Please don't make me.
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
can.
yeah. I'm just like trying to paint a picture that if it's doable or not. But if it's basically doable solo by you in an optimal case, then yeah, it sounds realistic, and I of course hope that we get plenty contributors, which of course in this case might or might not make it any faster.
I mean, if I survive to this cold, which is kind of killing me now, I would probably be around to help with that.
Okay, I think that's good. And we will get back to that, I think, because we will have to assign issues also. If I go through the checklist quickly, Dimitri is mentioning that yes, there are a few of these. We can start with that in the BMO. I had it open, but never mind. BMO, and or rather even the dashboard is better. Let's check through the dashboard. And 0.8 is what we need. Yes, and yeah, there are still stuff that was left here, and we have to move it. Let's see. This is for releasing, and it was planned for 0.8, so I think it's safe to move this to 0.9 because I don't think there is potentially a big blocker here. It's just, I guess the original contributor had no time to finish. Then the other one is E2E tests. I don't even think this really needs a milestone. I don't think that's something that is in our control or affects the releasing. So I will even remove this from under any milestone. We had a discussion, and so far it seems that tests, unless that's something that you want to, like you feel strongly that you would need that test for a release because of reasons, not just improving the test in general, we don't have to, in my opinion, add to milestone, because if it's just a test improvement, it's fine. Yeah. It comes when it comes. Okay, so that was 0.8. Do we have any other old one that has something in it? This can be updated. Why is it still showing it? Clear. Maybe now it's better. Okay, now it's good. 09 is coming up. 163 is clear. 172 clear. 18 is clear. Yes, 19 is the active one. 64 is clear. 7.2 is clear. 18 is clear. Okay. And then the ironic images are clear too. And then we have the +1 for each, but the dashboard is not yet showing these. Okay. Is everything active that is tagged for upcoming release? If not, why? Move it to later milestone if needed. Let's see. So yes, this is active. And okay. I'm just looking for stale labels. Holds are fine because at least there is some activity. Also fine. 18 and these have nothing. Okay, good. And then we can start with what is proposed. Do we want to set proposed deadline for anything? So, and it's like we discussed about the patch releases, and the beta releases, but I mean deadlines for the regular minor releases. Or if you want to put something into a patch release, then we can make a milestone for the patch release too. But if there is no clear request for putting a deadline on or shifting a deadline for any of the upcoming releases, then we can continue. Okay, if not, then let's continue with the issues themselves. Okay, IP is not released after deleting IP claim, and Adil already looked into it, and the most likely answer for now will be a documentation change, right, Adil? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, most probably. I was thinking of going to the code again. Previously, I didn't find if we can fix it properly. So most probably, it's going to be a documentation change.
Yeah, and you can work on it. So
Line is fine, yes.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Then the next is an ironic image issue, which I found. This is for creating a bit of documentation within the ironic image release, referring to what changed in the ironic. Yeah, and can point to the release notes in the website of ironic or OpenStack documentation, and also we can do a diff. So I think we are in agreement. This can be done. How do you feel? Can this be delivered by next ironic image release? Which is in this one, naively, I've set it to 27. Okay, if no one is against that, I will just take that as a lazy consensus.
It's mostly procedural thing, right? So it's not like we have to write a ton of code.
Yeah, no. It's just that I think it can be done. as part of the release effort. But if I mainly was looking just if someone says that it's not okay and that this and that are an issues with this. But if there are no issues, if you think it's a minor work, then I just put it on the next milestone and let's move along. Next one is from BMO. This I am already reviewing, just always getting distracted. I think Dimitri, you also seen this, we also reviewed this. I strongly feel that this can land in the next one. And this is already a VIP, BMO VIP, and it will be soon merged, I feel. So I put on the next release. Just stop me if you have any counter opinions, but we are running out of time and I want to speed up a little bit. This is something I supposed to work this quarter and finish it. The Ironic parts and the Oslo parts are done. It's just the BMO parts that remaining. You can read about that. I would put it for the BMO V09. What did we say? When is this 09, you think, realistically? We don't do minor for BMO right now, and then in November we will have the Ironic, right? Late November. And after that, the next one comes in February.
Like most likely early December.
Early
But
December.
yeah, in
Yeah.
like 3-4 weeks maximum.
Yeah, I will be out in like from next week, most of next week until end of November. So if we would put the release, the BMO release, it might be actually a point where I propose this, the 0.9 BMO release in like early January. Would that work for the community? What do you think? Or make it a bit closer to the Ironic image?
I think we should make it a bit closer to the Ironic, because Cappy release is also in the mid of December. So when we do the CapM3, it would be nice if we have a latest BMO with the latest Ironic in CapM3. So
Okay. Middle of December, you said, right?
yeah, Cappy is there in the middle of December.
Okay, I think I can finish this quickly because this is simple. So, okay, I will go there then right now, and before I would forget this. BMO 09 edit. Let's then try to make a deadline for this middle of December. Do you remember, Adil, when is that? When would we start releasing the CapM3 with the new Cappy? In middle of December.
I am checking the Cappy, exact date of the Cappy. Let me check.
Okay. I will leave this open now. While Adil is checking, we can handle this one. I think Dimitri, you would like to see this one, and I understand that by this date, like middle of December, 09 release.
Yeah, very ideally we have some internal deadlines we are trying to hit, which are even harsher than that.
Okay.
So yeah, we definitely want to see it
In the next one. Good. Okay.
Yeah, so the Cappy is on 17th December, and we will try to do the CapM3 also like in the next week, right after that. So it's going like the end. So CapM3 will be like the end of December or something.
Okay,
But
so
it depends like how much work is needed on the CapM3 side when we do the Cappy uplift. So if it's a lot of work, it might take more than a week.
okay, So if I put it in the middle of that week, you said it's 17th is the CAPI,
Yes.
and then we might need this week to work. So if I put it in the middle, that's good for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, and then Dimitri, you said you have harsher deadlines. How would that affect this? I don't want to align everyone's deadline, internal deadlines.
Yeah, don't worry about us.
Okay.
We don't actually rely on BMO releases. We take things from just Git master. So I'm just putting it more as a data point that we are working very actively on this. It's not something that's on our back burner. It's a priority.
Yeah, good. Good. Okay, yours have been.
But are we not making most of the legwork when we bump to beta anyways? So the final bump after the minor comes out is not that much.
Yeah, probably. But I'm just
At least Sunat is now making the CapM3 bump, and I think the most of the legwork is done after that.
yeah, true. I'm just making sure that might.
Yeah.
So you are saying like we should make the PMO release more early, or
I mean, I'm just saying that it might not take that long time after the minor release to bump it. Because I think you did it the last time, right?
it didn't take much time because we take the CAPI also when they release RC and betas pretty soon.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we can shift it before. As we get closer, we will know more, and we can just
we can
shift
change
it.
that. Yeah.
Okay, so these are done, and then there is the IPAM work, which is spread over a few repos. I think we would really like to match this at this point, and it's in a good track. So I believe this will land soon. It's certainly already in progress for the IPAM. And next week, you said there will be the 1.9 beta, but the actual minor will land in December. Is it an issue if this does not get into the beta, just to the actual, or?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We are not code freezing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And I think we can also set up the deadline the same way for this one. I will put this just tentatively to the same date.
By the way, do we must merge this for 1.9? I'm not exactly fond of breaking changes in the last week in general.
I mean, I might be confused now, but we now just released bit. So Adi said that we are not code freezing, so we now merge it for before beta, or we don't merge it for beta, but then merge it for the.
No, but I mean merge it for the 1.9 in general. Do we need it for something? Because it's a large breaking change, and like merging it at like after beta is like a bad idea in my opinion. Breaking changes should come early in the release cycle, so we get full round of testing.
Yeah, we need to have a discussion of how big of a change this is and how much it's going to affect the upgrades and everything. Because it's also changing this provider label that we had a discussion in another issue.
Yes, I noticed that.
run.
Yes, that's right.
Oh,
It's here.
So this PR we can decide maybe later, have a discussion about it if we need it for 1.9 or not.
Yeah. Okay. I think then it's good. Then it came up. I will put it here. This one will require further discussion. Sorry. So it's something that we will first discuss internally. I don't think there are any other stakeholders, right? So we say that we won't do this right now. So I won't add the milestone to this one. Just project. Okay, I will remove the milestone. Okay, let's discuss this one. So let's freeze this proposal of this moving to the 1.9. Okay, so let's keep that. Okay. Anyways, I think we can very well discuss this tomorrow, and I can add it tomorrow and comment here our decision, or just put it or assign it to the milestone. I think we have finished with all these things. This was the first attempt to do this, so I'm sure it will get better, and we will have less of these stuff that has to be maintained. Or maybe more, who knows. Is there any other question, comment, anything else that we should discuss? Okay, if not, feel free to ping me after the meeting or tomorrow or whenever, when you have any request to the milestone or want a discussion. I think we already sparked good discussions related to this milestone work. And let's see how it goes. And if there are no any other topics or questions, thank you for your time, and let's meet next week. From next week, as I said, I will be off for a few weeks. We will see if I will do some of the community meeting or not. We will discuss that with the committee members, and I will let you know, or you will know when I'm not facilitating. Okay, so thank you everyone. Next week it will be triaging, and until then, have a great weekend, and thanks for joining. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye bye.